y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a really quick and budget friendly recipe. This is called ground beef and gravy, and I'm going to serve it over homemade mashed potatoes, and we're going to put a little green beans on the side. So what I did was I went ahead and cooked my ground beef. I cooked it loose, and I've already drained the grease. And so right now I've lowered my temperature to about medium-high heat, and I'm going to put some butter in here and melt it. It's only a couple tablespoons of butter. We're going to add a few more spices and a few more other things, and this will be supper tonight. I found this recipe. It's one of my favorite ladies that I always get recipes from online, and I was trying to find something that was more budget friendly and not so elaborate, and ground beef and gravy is what I found. And it's not like your typical SOS recipe where this milk gravy, this is like a beef gravy. So this is going to be a little bit different and not as heavy, I wouldn't think. So we're going to melt this butter. And I'm going to use some dry minced onion. I'm going to put about a tablespoon in here if moisture hasn't got to it. We live in the South, so everything gets affected by the moisture here. Alright, it's a really hefty tablespoon, probably a tablespoon and a half. I'm going to use some garlic powder instead of fresh garlic. About 2 teaspoons. And some pepper. Alright. So I'm just going to go ahead and start whisking because I'm fixing to put in some flour. So I'm going to give this a couple seconds to cook. Doesn't really have to cook, you know. Just a few seconds here. Alright, and now I'm going to add the flour. We just need 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So 2 tablespoons. It's okay if it's not exact. That's 1 and 2 will work. So we're going to just try to get our meat coated here. And it is a little bit harder with the hamburger meat being in here. But it'll be fine. It'll work out. Alright, and I've got 2 cups of beef broth here, and I'm just going to do about half. And we're going to stir this up, because I don't want any lumps. Okay. Alright. And as you stir it, you'll notice it kind of thicken a little bit. That's when you need to go ahead and pour in the rest of your broth. And just continue to cook this. And it's all going to come together in a second. Just give it a few more minutes. It's not a real thick gravy. It's almost like a thickened broth, if that makes sense. And a couple of us are sick right now, so I thought this would it would probably be very comforting. And I'm going to make my homemade mashed potatoes, which is always comforting. To pour this over, because that's what you would do, is pour it over that. You could probably do rice if you wanted to, or some sort of egg noodles. But, we're going to do that. And I'm just going to let this continue to simmer. But I do need to add one last thing, and that's some Worcestershire sauce. I need about a tablespoon of that. And that's just going to give it a little bit more richness, a little bit more flavor. And it will color it just a little bit. Make it a little bit darker brown. Okay. All right, so we're gonna let this continue to simmer for about 5 minutes until it thickens a little bit more. And then I'm gonna come back, let me get my mashed potatoes ready, and I'll show you the whole thing on the plate. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. I've got a big old hefty plate of it. And I paired it with some green beans. You can put some rolls with it, any kind of bread, it's fine. Really easy and simple. I think it's going to be perfect with the mashed potatoes. I think it'll be a good comfort food, and green beans is always a family favorite. But I thought that looked good. Looks like something I would like to sit down and eat right now. So great on a budget. Perfect meal for that. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a real quick and easy fettuccine alfredo or chicken alfredo. So I took 2 chicken breasts and I shredded them. You can chop them if you prefer. You're gonna add a whole jar of Alfredo sauce that's already prepared from the store. This one is Bertolli. I like Revs, but they're very expensive. So I'm gonna also add, I need the rest of these mushrooms for another recipe. So I'm only going to use half of a can. So you need about a 4-ounce can. Okay. And the recipe calls for mixed vegetables. I've never put that in my Alfredo. So I steamed some broccoli. And I'm going to put that in here. It's just some broccoli florets. You can use that, or you can use some canned peas, frozen peas, something like that if you prefer. Okay. My hands are all gross now. And we're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of milk. It's probably to thin out that sauce just a little bit. We're going to warm this up and warm it up and combine it. Give it a few minutes. We're going to combine all this together. I wish I would have cut those a little smaller. Okay. Okay, you can make fettuccine noodles or linguine. I just chose linguine. And I've got it cooked already. And set aside. And that's really all there is to it. Milk just helps thin out the sauce just a little bit. And I am going to add a little bit of parm to this. If I can find my parm. You know what? We're going to use the kind that you put on spaghetti. Just to give it a little bit of that kind of parmy taste. And hopefully that won't thicken up too bad. All right, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna warm this up. We're gonna add it to some noodles or pasta. And then that'll be it. Let me add some pepper. And a tad bit of garlic powder. Now that's my own little add-ins. Trying this new sauce, I'm a little bit nervous. All right, you don't have to shred your chicken like I did. It was just easier. And I get so tired of trying to chop it all. So I got this new little gadget that kind of gives me a break. All right, so you're gonna want this to simmer for 5 to 7 minutes. You don't want it to scorch or anything. And I will come back with some of it plated so you can see it. I'll be back in a few. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. It did great. Next time, I'm not sure that I would shred the chicken for it, but it did make it easy, simple, and it doesn't really matter about the looks because everybody's going to eat it and it's going to be good. May need to add a little bit of lemon pepper to this to see if that helps with the flavor. It's a little bit bland. I just added some more salt and pepper. This is probably going to be my meal anyway because, you know, there's only a few of us that like it. So, like I said, you can switch out the vegetables and you don't have to put in the mushrooms. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.